السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقه قولي. Welcome back to your brothers and sisters after a short break. Alhamdulillah, we are continuing our lessons from Medina Book 2. Inshallah, I welcome you all to class number 23. What we're going to do today is we're going to go forward and learn about different types of files. So just a quick reminder that what we are doing is we're learning types of files. So we know it's file madi, file mudara and file amr. The file madi is mabni, and we know, for example, it's kataba, katabu. Anything comes in front of it, the sign doesn't change on any of the letters. So file mudara, so we know it has different moods. This was different harf. So it has harf rafa, is the sign is dhamma when it is singular, and we know it's a nunata and nunjata group, and it's a mabni group. And the different forms marfu, mansub and majzoom. So in fa'al there is no majroor, but it's majzoom where it ends with the jazm. And we got fa'al amr, which is mabni. So before we go to fa'al amr, inshallah we're just going to revise ourselves, and we're going to learn what you've learned before. It's the types of fa'al mudari'. It's marfu. For example, if you say taktubu, so mansub will be taktuba and majzoom will be taktub. So ends with the fa'al ends with the sukoon. Let's quickly take you to certain examples. For example, if you say dhahaba yadhhabu, so we have 5 in your pocket. Yadhhabu, tadhhabu, tadhhabu, adhhabu, nadhhabu. So how do we make marfu? This is a marfu format. How do we make mansub? Mansub will be yadhhaba, tadhhaba, tadhhaba, adhhaba, nadhhaba. And majzoom will be ending with the sukoon. It will be yadhhab, tadhhab, tadhhab, adhhab and nadhhab. So if you take the nunata hai, nun jata hai group, we know it is the sign of marfu is the presence of nun, bi subuti nun, alamatu raf'ihi bi subuti nun. That's what it's called. So yadhhabani, tadhhabani, yadhhabuna, tadhhabani, tadhhabuna, tadhhabina, tadhhabani. This is a nunata hai, nun jata hai. And how do we make mansub? Is the where we take the noon away, and then we know that it's something is happened to the fa'al, and the fa'al is in the condition of either it is mansoob or it is majroor. For example, yadhhaba, yadhhabani will become yadhhaba, yadhhabuna will become yadhhabu, tadhhabani will be tadhhaba, and so on and so forth. Tadhhabina will be tadhhabi, and tadhhabuna will be tadhhabu. This is how it is. And we know there's another group which is the mabni. It is fixed. So yadhhabna and tadhhabna is jamid, so it's fixed and it doesn't change. It's called mabni. So the noon is here not a sign of marfu or mansub. This noon is fa'il. So that's why you cannot take away this noon. So here in nunata hai, nun jata hai group, here this noon comes after the fa'il, but here the fa'il ends at the noon. So that's how about quick revision. So inshallah, if we do the full version so that we get a good idea about the marfu, mansub and majroor forms, before we go, it's like yadrusu, yadrusani, yadrusuna, tadrusu, tadrusani, yadrusna, tadrusu, tadrusani, tadrusuna, tadrusina, tadrusani, tadrusna, antumna, tadrusna, ana adrusu, nahnu nadrusu. This is a marfu form. So how do we have a mansub form? It's the same thing with the fatha and noon. Hadafi noon, bi hadafi noon, and we have mabni. So yadrusa, yadrusa, yadrusu, tadrusu, tadrusa, yadrusna. So hunna is mabni, yes, yadrusna. So anta, tadrus, tadrusa, tadrusa, تدرسون تدرسي تدرسا تدرسنا أدرس ندرسا, and here we have مجزوم with the سكون تدرس and the مبني and نون आता है नून जाता है group. So hope you all can recognize with علامة مضارع and presence of noon or dhamma will give you the presence of marfu status of the file, and علامة مضارع along with the fatha and the sukoon or بحذف النون will give the condition of mansoob or majzoom. So there is no majroor in the file. So that's the file mudara. So coming to file amr. So how do we make amr? So inshallah in today's class we're going to learn how to make amr. Amr means you command or you tell somebody to do an action. So to understand completely how the file amr is constructed, we would be best to understand just to quick recap about the different babs. So the reason why we need to know is if you see bab nasara, yansuru, daraba, yadribu, fataha, yaftahu, the action is taking place on the ayn kalima. So this is important in constructing a file amr of a 3-letter file. So what is the other group we learned? Is karuma, bab karuma, karuma yakrumu, sami'a yasma'u, hasiba yahsibu. So we need to keep in mind these babs, and it will be very helpful in making amr. And it's very easy inshallah. So how do we make amr? So amr, fi'l amr is only can be given the person who is in front of you. So we know there are 14 pronouns, 14 like huwa, huma, hum, hiya, huma, hunna, but fi'l amr can be given only in front of you. That will be only 6 forms, because somebody either a male or female can be there. It will be singular, dual or plural. So it will be 6 forms of fi'l amr will be there. So that is anta, antuma, antum, anti, antuma, antunna. So this is where you give command. There's a different form for the third person, but the normal fi'l amr is given only in the mukhatab form. So for example, if you take an example like tadhhabu, this will be the form. It is the mudari form. Tadhhabani, tadhhabuna, tadhhabina, tadhhabani, tadhhabana. So we're going to take a fi'l mudari and then we're going to change this into fi'l amr. So we got madi, dhahaba, and then we get mudari, tadhhabu, and then after from the fi'l mudari is the fi'l amr constructed. It's very easy to remember it this way, the madi, mudari and amr, rather going other way around where it could be confusing. We cannot make an amr from madi, it's only from the mudari. So let's see how we make it inshallah. So if you take this fi'l tadhhabu, so here what do we see? We're going to divide this into 3 sections. We got alamat mudari', then we have fa kalima and ayn kalima, and we have got the lam kalima. So this is a 3-letter fi'l in the mudari' form. So we got 3 sections. So now because we're going to make a fi'l amr, so we don't need the sign of mudari'. So we don't need to know that this sign. So what we're going to do is, so we know what are the signs of mudari'. So a, na, ya and ta. These are the 4 signs of mudari'. Just to keep an eye on the a, that's the hamzatul qata, is a sign of mudari'. So we don't need this sign. So what do? We'll take this away. So you don't see the fi'l alamat mudari' in fi'l amr. So also the fi'l amr is in the status of majzoom. That means the last kalima, the lam kalima, will always have a sukoon in the single third person form. So we're going to take this away and we're going to bring a majzoom form, that is the lam kalima will have a sukoon. So if we see here, now the word, this is in this condition where it is starting with the sukoon, but we know in Arabic we cannot pronounce a word starting with a sukoon, so we need to have some other word with the vowel sign. So what do we have here? So we need us and we need help to pronounce this word. So what do we bring? So our own Hamzatul Wasl. This always comes to help us to give us a sign. So we know Hamzatul Wasl is a temporary sound, which means any letter comes in front of it, the sound is disappeared, so you don't longer produce it. But if you are giving on its own, the sound is produced. So now, so we bring Hamzatul Wasl. So how do we decide what vowel sign we're going to use it? So if we look at the Lam Kalima, the Ain Kalima, which is the Ha here. So what sign on this Ain Kalima will decide what vowel sign is going to get on the Hamzatul Wasl. If we see a Fatha or a Kasra, then the Hamzatul Wasl will get a Kasra. We don't use Fatha on the Hamzatul Wasl of a Fa'il Amr at all, because if we give a Fatha, what happens is that it's going to create confusion whether it is Ana Adhab or it is telling to you're giving a command. So you don't at all use a Fatha in the Fa'il Amr, you always use Kasra. So when do we use Kasra? Under two conditions, whether it has Fatha or a Kasra, then the Hamzatul Wasl will get Kasra. Okay, so this here it will be, because the Fatha it becomes Kasra, so it becomes Idhab. So Idhab is your Fa'al Amr, that is you're telling a person, a male standing in front of you to go. You're commanding him. Idhab means go from here, or go. That's the thing. Okay, Idhab. So we'll just take another example. That's a different vowel sign on the Ain Kalima. For example, if we say Dakhala Yadkhulu, okay, Nasara Yansuru, Bab Nasara. So where we have Dhamma on the Ain Kalima. Again here what we're going to do is we can divide into the three segments here. So we have Alamat Mudara to be separated, and then we got Fa and Ain Kalima and the Lam Kalima. So Fa Kalima will always have a sukoon, that will remain the sukoon, it is not going to change. So the change is taking place between the Ain Kalima and Lam Kalima. So first of all what we're going to do is we're going to take away the Alamat Mudara. So we don't need Alamat Mudara. So the Fa Kalima will remain the same, and also we need the Majzoom form. So we're going to take this away and we're going to bring a Majzoom form, that is this. But because the word is beginning with the sukoon, so you cannot pronounce it, so we need to bring Hamzatul Wasl. So now which sign is going to Hamzatul Wasl carry? Look at the Ain Kalima, that is the Kha. Dakhala is Fa Kalima, Kha is Ain Kalima, and La is Lam Kalima. So because Ain Kalima has got Dhamma, so we're going to bring the Hamzatul Wasl with Dhamma. Dhamma will always have Dhamma. The only time it will have Kasra when it is Ain Kalima has got Fatha or Kasra, and in Dhamma it will always be Dhamma. So it will be Udkhul. Udkhul means you are telling a person, male, single, in front of you to enter. So if somebody is standing at the door, if he asks, can I come in? So what we say? Udkhul means come on, enter. So what we're going to do is we're going to do another example, Tajlisu, where we have Jalasa, Yajlisu, Tajlisu, Daraba, Yadribu, Bab Daraba. So if you see here, the Ain Kalima is having Kasra. So how do we make Amr? So first of all, we just make a little bit of a fragmentation so we can clearly see what's happening. So we're going to take the sign of Alamat Mudariya, take it away, and turn this Lam Kalima into Majzoom, where it is the Sukoon and the Anta form. And because we cannot pronounce it, so what sign we're going to bring here? Because we got C in the Ain Kalima and it has got Kasra, and Hamzatul Wasl will carry a sign of Kasra. We'll have Ijlis. Means if anybody want to tell somebody to sit down, what you say? Ijlis. That's a single male in front of you, say ijlis. So this is different forms where we can do. So if we go to the full version of fi'l amr, where you give command to all the forms, anta, antuma, antum, anti, antuma, antuma. So tadhabu, tadhabani, tadhabuna. So they are all going. Tadhabina, anti, tadhabina, tadhabani, and tadhabna. All those women going. So dhahaba is he went, tadhabu is going. It's an incomplete verb because the action has not been completed. So again here what we're going to do is we don't need the alamatu mudara. So first of all we're going to take away the alamatu mudara. So then we're going to change the lam kalima, or here in the other segments, anta, antuma, antum. So anti, antuma. So what we know that the noon is a sign of marfu. So we're going to make it a majzoom form, which is we're going to drop the noon, and we know the mabni, which is yadhabna, is the noon is a fa'il, so we're not going to drop that. So we're just going to take away and we're going to bring a majzoom form. So obviously we cannot pronounce. So what vowel sign will hamzatul wasl carry? Looking at the ayn kalima is got fatha, that means the hamzatul wasl which we bring will have a kasra. So this is how we tell anta. If the man is in front of us, we say idhab, go. And if it's two men, we say idhaba, you both go. And if it is all the men, we say idhabu. So idhabu means all of you men go. It is, remember, the command is given only in antum form. So antum is the people in front of you. Say idhabu means telling in front of people, everybody to go. If it is feminine, we say idhabi. So here ya is fa'il. So who is the fa'il here? Here anta, antuma, antum is anta is fa'il mustatir. In antuma, alif is sign of mustanna antuma, and waw is sign of antum here, and ya is sign of anti, and alif is sign of antuma, and this noon is sign of fa'il, is hunna. This is the fa'ils. So idhabi, idhaba, idhabna. So this is how we make the amr in all the forms. So if you take another example like tadkhulu, tadkhulani, tadkhuluna, tadkhulina, tadkhulani, tadkhulna. So how are we going to make amr from these ones? So we're going to take away the sign of mudara. So we do not get the sign of mudara and change the marfu into the majzoom form. So take away and change it into majzoom form, and which hamzatul wasl with what sign is going to bring? It's going to be u, and that's how it's become udkhul. So anta udkhul, antuma udkhula, both of you enter. Antum, all of you men, udkhulu, enter. And the female in front of you, anti udkhuli. So you say udkhuli, so ya is the fa'il, and antuma udkhula, antunna udkhulna. So telling antunna means all the women in front of you, you want to tell them all of you enter, say udkhulna. So going to the last example, inshallah. So with the tajlisu, so how do we, same pattern again, take away the sign of mudara, take away ta, and turn the marfu into majzoom. And what vowel sign we get on hamzatul wasl? It will be kasra, because al ayn kalima has got kasra, so it will have kasra. So it will be ijlis, anta ijlis, antuma, both of you ijlisa, both of you sit down, antum, all of you men, ijlisu, sit down. So anti, in front of you, say ijlisi, and antuma ijlisa, both of you females, and all of you female, if you want to tell them sit down, you say ijlisna. So ijlisna. So this is how the fi'l mudar or fi'l amr is constructed. Inshallah, in our next session we're going to do certain dialogues and do next lesson in Medina book 2 and take our lessons forward. So until then, practice and inshallah you'll get stronger. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi